Hi everybody, I'm Jared Pike, and this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. On today's show, we watched this unusual Southern Gospel quartet who call themselves the Backward Brothers. But first, we want you to know about a free performance happening Friday afternoon. Gary Vidito is an actor and musician who brings history to the stage in a unique way, with true-to-life remembrances and music from the period. In tomorrow's performance, Gary will be portraying his father, who served in World War II aboard a ship off the coast of Africa. Headed to Normandy for D-Day, the ship hit 2 mines and went down. Hear the rest of the story with drama and music Friday at 2:15 a.m. in the Social Center on the island. It's a free event and all are welcome. And then Monday, yet another free performance to put on your calendar. The Cape Chorale is a group of men who love to sing the harmonies of barbershop. Ranging in age from age 18 up to 85, this group of about 35 men perform all throughout the Cape Coral area, and they're looking forward to bringing their vocal harmonies to the Shell Point stage. The Cape Chorale performs Monday night at 7:15 p.m. in the church auditorium. It's a free concert, and all are welcome. And speaking of men's harmonies, we had a most unusual quartet perform at last week's Shell Point Variety Show. Instead of the Blackwood Brothers, they call themselves the Backward Brothers. And you'll see why at the end of the song. Let's take a look.
And men and women sure have different ways of looking at the blues, don't they?
They sure do. In fact, our next guests have a very different way. Hey, have you ever heard of the Blackwood Brothers?
Oh, yeah, I heard of them.
Well, these next 4 coming up are the Backward Brothers. And they have their own way of singing the blues. They sing to God. Ladies and gentlemen, the Backward Brothers.
I said, Lord, when will it rain? My body's all good with my aches and pain. Everybody calls me a foolish man. It looks like the end of the line. The Lord said, Noah, keep building the ark. One day soon it's gonna get real dark. But you'll come through singing like a lark, all in God's own time. All in God's own time, my friend. All in God's own time. Even when you can't seem to get ahead, for always falling behind. Now don't you feel blue, don't you feel so bad when it looks like the end of the line. He's gonna work out all of your plans, all in God's own time. Moses said, Lord, what will I do? These Hebrew children got me feeling blue. They just won't live like you want them to. It looks like the end of the line. God said, Moses, you're a real good man. Keep on moving just like we planned. Soon you'll get to the promised land, all in God's own time. Job said, Lord, I might as well be dead. You took my children and everything I had. I'm hurting all over and I feel so bad. It looks like the end of the line. God said, Job, don't you fuss and fret. Listen, boy, I never failed you yet. I'm going to give you back everything that you had. All in God's own time. All in God's own time, my friend. All in God's own time. Even when you can't seem to get ahead, or always falling behind. Now don't you feel so blue, don't you feel so bad when it looks like the end of the line. He's gonna work out all of your plans. All in God's own time. God's own time, God's own time. All in God's own time.
The Backward Brothers. Let's bring the lights back on them for a second. I want to introduce them. This is, for the record, Dorothy Hookwater, Floss Jamison, Marion Davey, and Charlotte Bathon. The Backward Brothers.
You can see more from the Shell Point Variety Show coming up in our Shell Point TV Week in Review. But before we get to that, let's cover all of this weekend's happenings, menus, and church news.
Welcome to the weekend edition of the Happening segment at Shell Point TV. I'm Suzanne Zavada, and I'm here with Bev Chanley to go over all the fun activities planned for this weekend. We'll start off with Friday at 8:15, when the Stamp Ministry will be meeting in the Stamp Room in the Island. And at 9 o'clock, we'll have the men's match play tennis group meeting out at the courts of the Woodlands. And we'll also have a game of pickleball taking place down at the pickleball court on the island. At 10 o'clock, Canasta will take place in the game room at the Woodlands. And at 10:15, the Inquiring Minds group will be meeting in the Osprey room on the island. 12:30 is the time for mixed progressive bridge in the game room at the Woodlands. And at 1 o'clock, we have the diabetes group appointment taking place in the social center on the island. At 1:15, you can choose to take part of table tennis in the Tarpon room on the island or the quilters group in the Osprey room on the island. At 1:30, the Vespers will be in the community room of the Arbor. And at 2 o'clock, euchre will take place in the stable room at the Woodlands. 2:15, we have a program, World War II, a survivor's story in the social center on the island. 2:45, Vespers will be meeting in the community room of King's Crown. And we'll end Friday at 6:45 with game night in the Resident Activity Center. Here's Bev for Saturday.
Thanks, Suzanne. Saturday is busy around here as well. At 8 o'clock, we're going to start with round-robin men's doubles tennis down at the Woodlands tennis courts. Then 9:45, duplicate bridge will be in the Manatee Room on the island. 10:15, the Shell Point Model Yacht Club will be sailing their boats. This time they'll be at the Garden Apartment Pond behind the Resident Activity Center on the island. At 1 o'clock, it's time for chess in the Library Lounge. Also at 1:15, table tennis will be available in the Tarpon Room and will be available all weekend unless otherwise noted. At 2:45, introduction to line dancing will be in the Health Club. And then 3:15, we have basic line dancing in the Health Club. And our final activity for Saturday is 6:30 with duplicate bridge in the Manatee Room. Now here's Suzanne for your Sunday lineup.
Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, Christian Life Studies will take place at the game room at the Woodlands, and it'll take place at 9:15 at the Village Church on the island. At 10:15, morning worship will be held with Andy Hawkins in the Village Church, and it will also be broadcast live on Shell Point TV Channel 12. At 2 o'clock, the Mixed Golf League will be out at the Shell Point Golf Club. And at 3:15, we'll have ballroom line dancing for beginners in the Health Club on the island. To end the weekend, we will have the evening service with Andy Hawkins at 6:15 in the Village Church on the island. We hope you have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you back here on Monday.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter on Friday is fish cakes with braised red cabbage and yellow rice. The dinner special is the seafood buffet for $14.95, and they're featuring a lentil soup. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Friday, enjoy a seafood salad on a croissant with chips for $6.95. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $7.95. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Friday are calf liver for $14.95 or stuffed shrimp for $14.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room is closed. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Saturday, enjoy a chili cheese dog with fries for $6.95. The dinner special is roasted duck with mushroom risotto and green peas for $7.95. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Saturday are prime rib for $18.95 or grilled halibut for $15.95. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Sunday brunch for $17.50. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, enjoy a grilled roast beef and cheese panini with chips for $6.95. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $7.95. And the Palm Grill is closed on Sundays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
This is the day
This is the day that the Lord has made. I love that text. I'm reminded of God's goodness day after day, but especially on weekends and particularly on Sunday as we gather for worship. It's a day that we come together as a church and a family, a church and community, as we worship together, as we sing praise to the God of creation who alone is worthy to be praised. It's a day of worship as we come together. We give thanks to God for His rich provisions, His sustaining grace, His care for us. As we gather as a church and community, as the family of God, we unite our hearts and voices in worship as we sing praise to the God of wonder and majesty. We share together in prayer for our concerns locally and internationally. Together we affirm our faith and our trust in our sovereign God. It's an opportunity to come together in church to bring our tithes and offerings, giving our gifts to the Lord, expression of our appreciation for His grace and goodness to us. Each week our choir shares an anthem of praise, and we sing God's glory as a congregation enjoying the ministry of music provided by the choir. Often we have the occasion to welcome special guests who share their gifts and talents in song and speaking. Oftentimes we have those who are guest speakers, missionaries, who provide a constant reminder and encouragement to our hearts as together we share in the work of the Great Commission, proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ to the whole wide world. As we gather for worship, we appreciate the preaching and the study of Scripture as our pastor leads us in the truths of God's Word. It's a time for us to rejoice in the fellowship that we share as believers. It's a wonderful day. It's the day that the Lord has made. Here at the Village Church, we invite you to consider coming and being a part of our worship services as we gather Sunday mornings at 10:15 and Sunday evenings at 6:15. Throughout the summer, there'll be special opportunities to welcome guests, share in music, and continue to study God's Word. I trust that you'll join us. If you're not able to attend the service in person, I encourage you to tune in to Shell Point TV, Channel 12, where the Sunday morning broadcast of the worship service is presented live at 10:15. It is going to be a great day, a day that the Lord has made, and I trust you'll come and be part of our worship as we celebrate God's goodness together.
It's time to replay some of the best stories from this week on Shell Point TV. And we began by talking to the ladies of the Legacy Foundation, who were recently accredited as professional daily money managers.
Hello everyone, I'm Terry Kolath, and I have the privilege today to introduce you to three lovely ladies who know a lot about money, and they work in your Legacy Foundation. They are in this issue of Shell Point Life, and here's their picture, here's their article. Julie Boyd, Dina Malley, and Deborah Henning, Legacy Foundation. We're talking about Daily Money Manager Accreditation. That is amazing. Tell us a little bit about it, Deborah.
Well, we're pretty proud of ourselves for this achievement. There was a process where we had to actually study for the exam, and Dina will tell you more about that. We had to qualify to take the exam once we knew what we were doing. And they do a rigorous background check. We're also tested on certain skills. We had to work at least 1,500 hours in our field in a year.
That 1,500 hours ahead of time makes sure that people who get into this course are hit the ground running.
Exactly.
Know what they're doing.
Exactly. It's not in, you have to do the 1,500 hours every year. Wow. It helped us a lot. But our daily work is what really made it for us.
Julie, tell us a little bit about how this actually works now that you have this certification. How is it when you're working with our residents at Shell Point?
Well, we use it in our everyday business. It lends credibility and legitimacy really to what we're doing. It helps us be more well-rounded with our clients. We deal with clients either face-to-face, over the phone, coming in, new residents, sometimes prospective residents that are not, with Shell Point as of yet. So we try to help out in any way that we can.
I would assume that this would give you another layer of confidence. You must be the questions must come at you constantly. And now you have this information that you can draw on that you're sure of.
Exactly, yeah.
And how many people do you see in an average month at Shell Point, would you say, Dina?
Right now we have over 130 households here at Shell Point, and it's about 150 people, and they're in all walks of Shell Point. So plus you have to imagine we see clients that are not ours, but they live here at Shell Point when they need help with insurance questions or financial planning questions. So we could see, 400 or 500 people every month between the staff that we have. So it's amazing.
You know who's coming and a little bit about what they're going to want to talk about when they get there.
Sometimes. Sometimes they just walk in. So we're always on our toes and ready to assist resident or clients. It doesn't matter. We're just here to help people. So. And
you've also shared that the land representative has been a part of this.
That's right. We have an office in our Alliance community, and we do have a staff person up there. She's been with us for 2.5 years, and she also took the Daily Money Manager accreditation test, and we're really happy to say that she passed as well. So now we have 4 people on our staff of 8 that are certified money managers. So we're very proud of the staff.
And I love the fact that it's a daily money management, because in our kind of economy and the times we live in, daily people have questions about money. Everything's fluctuating all the time. So we're just so proud that we have you and that you're here looking to the needs and interests of our residents. What are your hours, Dina?
Our hours are 9 to 4. Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Yes.
And how would we get in touch with you?
Our phone number is 466-8484.
Also to be found in the resident roster under Legacy Foundation.
That's correct.
Well, again, I have to echo what Tim Stevenson always says about his staff, that we are very fortunate to have you in your service to our residents, the 3 of you, and our person in the land office who works with the Legacy Foundation. And so proud that now we have Daily Money Manager accreditation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have you ever wanted to try pottery? Well, there's an absolute beginner's class starting on Tuesday, and Terry Kolath has all the details.
Hello everyone, I'm Terry Kolath, and I'm here today with an instructor in the Summer Academy, Mike Lienhardt of Periwinkle. Thank you for joining me, Mike.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad that we have another pottery class to offer our residents. There's nothing like working in clay, is there?
No.
How long have you been involved with pottery?
I started working in pottery in about 1956. So I've been at it for a good number of years.
A while, yeah.
I was a high school art teacher, and I taught a lot of pottery classes in high school as well. And it's going to be a pleasure to have this class with a minimum of 10 people and to be able to work with them.
It is going to be so exciting. Well, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that people will learn. We know that as we walk through the tunnel and look through the window at the display, it looks so mysterious. Yes. And it looks so exciting to look through that window, which anybody can do anytime, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And also anybody can stop in.
Yes, they do stop in a lot and circle around and move around the room. And, you know, it's amazing that the number of people that come to Shell Point that have had an interest in painting or pottery or some other creative area, and they weren't able to do it their entire life because of the world of work, and they now they're interested in it, but some of them are a little intimidated by all the equipment and so on in pottery, but they shouldn't be. So my idea is to have this basic class, and we're going to do a bunch of hands-on small projects that they can get accustomed to working with clay. And the nature of the pottery studio will have an acclimation to where the different tools are, the wheels, the kilns, what goes on with the firing, how much does a project shrink, how to glaze, and all of these beginning steps that are necessary to learn the skills of pottery.
And the skills of pottery. I'm wearing a wonderful little manatee here made by June Lockhart.
Yes.
But every art show that Shell Point has, it amazes us what you potters do.
Yes.
I mean, it's truly amazing. You look at a slab of clay and then you look at these things. So this is a beginner's class. I know you say you're going to orient us to the pottery studio, which is important, walking around and looking and what is all of this, and introduce a pinch pot. Now, it occurs to me that 5,000 years ago, people were making bricks of clay in Babylonia. When do you think they started doing something with clay just because of that artistic?
Probably shortly after that, when they started taking a ball of clay and sticking their finger in and moving it around and forming something like a small pot or a small vessel. And that's about the same time that they started throwing on the wheel, too.
Really?
And yes, and creating works of art. And it's amazing how much in the primitive artists, how much decorative art they put into their pottery as well, with textures on the outside and so on.
And such feeling.
Yes.
I mean, you can see feeling and movement when you look at these pieces in a museum. It's like somebody put their creativity into a piece of clay. It's wonderful. Then we're going to explore various methods of making slab projects. What's a slab project?
We have a slab roller in the pottery studio, and after you have a well-wedged piece of clay, wedging is mixing it together, you can put it in the slab roller, roll it through, and keep making the setting on the slab roller thinner and thinner, so that you get it to about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch, depending on how big of a pot you're going to make. And after that slab is rolled, then you can pick it up and drape it over a plaster of Paris mold and shape it to the plaster of Paris mold. The plaster pulls the moisture from the clay as it's drying, and you have to be careful to cut it off of the mold at the right time so that it doesn't crack as it's shrinking.
Interesting.
I'm going to demonstrate how to use the wheel at the last class of this session, and then if that piques their interest and the use of clay interests them, then they can come back and take another course another time on perhaps wheel throwing.
Mike, you just epitomize what's wonderful about Shell Point. Somebody with a background, a talent, and the generosity to share it with others.
Thank you.
That's what makes the Academy wonderful. Thank you so much for this pottery class and for talking with me today. Pottery begins on May 7th, and it is going to run 6 Tuesday mornings. If you're interested, look in the Academy brochure. You can get one at either service desk, or you can look online at www.shellpoint.net. And if you're not taking pottery, basic pottery this semester, I still encourage you to stop by the pottery studio. At least look in the window. It's very exciting.
We got an update on the golf course reconstruction project from Mark Jacobs.
This is the first week of the renovation process for the greens on the golf course here. This is kind of a beginning stage right now where basically the material just gets stripped off of the green. They get rid of all the grass in preparation for then digging down to basically rebuild it from the bottom up. So right now what you see behind me is basically just the first layer. You know, we've stripped all the grass off. If you look behind me, you can see the stakes that are lined out. That's the new shape of the green, which is all based on elevations, and those grade stakes will then get GPS'd for location, so we have the exact location of the shape of the green. This is number 1 green behind us here right now. This is the first green that we started on. This green's a little bit further along. The green has been totally excavated and it's ready to be shaped to start building it from the bottom up to create the new green. The greens are getting built to what's called a USGA spec green. So we're building them to the full USGA specification. There'll be 12 inches of new greens material or soil, and 4 inches of gravel, and then the pipe underneath that. So basically it's about 16 inches worth of depth that they need to hit so that they can start creating the new green. You know, it kind of looks like they're just, you know, digging a hole and pulling stuff out and winging it, but that's definitely not the case. With everything being done to precise measurements based on blueprinted plans that are approved plans, with the staking being GPS'd so that you know exactly where it's supposed to be. Everything is laser leveled. Each phase has to get approved by myself and Michael Raber. So when they get to a point where the green is all shaped out and this is the shape we want, we look at it and we say, yep, okay. So we have to approve every little phase, and then even when they start digging all the material out and what's underneath, we approve what's underneath. All of the material really gets kind of reused through the process in different ways. There's always going to be more material than we can use, so a lot of it we're trying to relocate to the driving range for some future projects so that we still get use out of what we're doing, out of the material. We'll actually get to keep some of it that a little further underneath is still good material. We can use it to, you know, top dress and amend areas on the golf course, like some of the tees or some fairway areas. These guys are experts, and the people that are working for them, a lot of them are ex-golf course superintendents that understand the workings and how to run the equipment. So you can see there's a lot of dirt going on behind us, and I don't know about you, but when you were a little kid, every little kid likes to play in the dirt. So it's always fun. You gotta find the fun in your job. It's a big job. It's a big job for Shell Point Golf Club and for Shell Point Retirement Community. It'll be all summer long, but we promise that we're going to do the best job possible. Come October, when we're planned for reopening, the golf club will be a better golf club for Shell Point and for its golfing members.
The AARP driver safety class is back, starting first thing Monday morning. Let's find out why you should sign up.
Hello everyone, I'm Terry Kolath and I'm here today with Paul Hoden of Oakmont, and we're talking about the AARP driver safety course. Thanks for joining me, Paul.
Glad to be here.
We have been offering this class in the Academy at Shell Point for a good long time. I can't even imagine how many of our residents have taken advantage of this refresher course. Lots.
Yes.
Now, tell me a little bit about how you got involved with AARP. Were you a teacher before this?
Not really. I was involved peripherally in safety and security, for sure. But I took the class here with one of your existing instructors. She invited those who might be interested to see her if we were interested in becoming instructors, and it went from there. 2-day training program, and I became an instructor.
Nice, nice. What was it like your first time you taught the class?
Scary.
Yeah.
First 2 or 3 times, and I was replacing a gentleman who had been a cop in Milwaukee, and he was 80 years old, and he'd done it for 100 classes probably, and he was marvelous, and I just wasn't sure I could measure up.
Well, let me tell you, you are, because I read those evaluations. You are more than measuring up. This is a huge book. This is what you use as an instructor to give this information in only 6 hours.
That's right.
Now, what's the goal of this AARP?
Well, the primary goal, as stated by AARP, is to change at least one aspect of everyone's driving that comes through the course.
Oh, okay. Do we need to change an aspect of our driving?
Yeah, you know, highways are always changing. We have these new overpasses. We have new lines sometimes on the road. States are not always in sync, and we bring people in sync. We're coming up with a new course in the fall, or next year, I guess it is, and all the states will be pretty much lined up to teach the same way.
Interesting. Well, that makes a lot of sense. We're such a mobile society, and we drive all over the place. Well, and that reminds me of one of our problems here. People from all over the place want to come to Southwest Florida, especially in the winter. So that complicates at least our reaction times and our frustration levels. Do we touch on that at all?
Oh, we do. I asked them in one section, what is your frustration, your biggest frustration driving on the road? And I've got the same standard answer from most of my students, and they're all, for the most part, 70 and older. The biggest one is slow drivers staying in the left lane.
Yeah, that is so frustrating, isn't it? There's no nice way to ask them to move. You can give them a little blink, but now what about how we change as we age? I'm sure that the course addresses that. As we age, what can we expect with our driving abilities?
Well, certainly our reaction time is different, and our eyes change, our hearing changes. Those are just some examples. The book goes into it. We have some excellent videos that demonstrate it, and they're even funny in some points. So if you come, it won't be bored all day. And I get the students engaged to talk to me and to each other and give examples out of their own personal driving of how these aspects of their readiness to drive change.
Well, I know that AARP provides this across the United States, and we are so fortunate that we can offer this right to our residents right here. Minimum fee, $14, $12 if you bring a current AARP membership. Correct. For that, they get a manual, 6 hours of information and interaction with fellow drivers.
Yes.
Doesn't get better than that.
No, people for the most part walk out very happy that they've gone through it, and they get a discount on their insurance in most states with most companies.
And that's helpful too. Well, Paul, on behalf of everyone who has taken this course and will take it in the future, let me thank you on behalf of our community for teaching it.
It's my pleasure.
We appreciate it. I hope you take advantage. We have one opportunity this summer semester in the Academy of Lifelong Learning. It is Monday, May 6th, so sign up right away at either service desk.
Nancy Cook is the one-man band behind the Cafe Promenade at the Woodlands. But she does such a good job that she even has her own fan club.
I have, over the past couple of months, considered my little cafe a gourmet cafe at Shell Point. I'm open from 8 until 2, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, but I now have a much fuller breakfast menu, and I have things at the Promenade Cafe that the other restaurants don't offer. Like, for example, my paninis are all made from scratch, and I have a real large variety of paninis that I make, including all the toppings on the insides. I have beautiful salads. I have homemade chicken salad, tuna salad, and egg salad. I make everything myself. We offer waffles on our breakfast menu, an egg scrambler with a choice of meats and toast and muffins. I also have what's called the Promenade Quad Salad Plate. It's a scoop of chicken salad, egg salad, or tuna with cottage cheese, a fruit cup, and a home-baked muffin. And homemade soups. Our soups are all made in-house here. Everything is made from scratch, and we're taste-specific to our residents' likes here. We're really, really good at customizing for residents. In fact, a lot of my specials that I run regularly are specifically targeted for specific residents because they're a request. And if a resident requests it, we do it. Just that simple.
This is really a great thing for the Woodlands, and she's a great thing for it. So we're very pleased to have her. Nancy is the best thing that's happened to the Promenade since I've been here. She's cheerful, she's got good products, and she delivers.
They started meeting here on Tuesdays mornings. It was a small group to begin with. It was only about 4 or 5 guys. And the group just got bigger and bigger as the word spread and as more residents moved in from Sanibel. And now these guys are called Nancy's Tuesday Morning Coffee Boys.
Nancy's Coffee Boys. So you actually have your own organization.
Loosely knit.
There's the traveling board.
And I mean, they are hilarious. They come every Tuesday. They solve the world's problems.
Our wives are solving the problems of the world. We're
That's
here
why
just
we're
relaxing.
here.
Yeah.
We're here to get a word in edgewise.
Mostly medical problems.
4 of us are doctors, so we get a lot of free advice here. So you don't have to go to the doctor, you just come here. Right. Absolutely.
As long as it's Band-Aids and boo-boos, we're good.
Dr. Carl deducts it twice on his income tax.
A group therapy session, so I have all their Medicare numbers and submit them every week. So it's been very valuable, and it pays my monthly bill. And it's
You
very
know,
neat.
what we just discussed, the pain level is between 0 and 10. And we discussed, well, I have a 1, he has a 9, but it doesn't matter, really. We take the average anyway.
Everyone takes a turn, and about once a quarter, it's your turn to get the bill.
They take turns buying each week. They've got a regular chart in back, and they all sign up for a particular Tuesday. They just take turns. It makes it a lot easier for me rather than ringing up 20 coffees.
And when he's due, we all get eggs and bacon.
Eggs and bacon. They're all real fair about it, and they're just a great bunch of guys that just enjoy getting together for some camaraderie. They're great.
So why don't you sit down and have something? It's on. Who's it on? Yeah, come on.
Each restaurant venue has got different offerings, and you're really missing out if you haven't tried the Promenade Cafe. I have really unique lunch items. I have new breakfast menu. If you've not been in a while, you really need to come down and check me out. And you'll always get a smile, a great lunch or breakfast, and probably some good conversation. I'm pretty friendly. It's just so bright and cheery and welcoming here. Honestly, the view is just spectacular. So even if you don't want to come down for something to eat, you can come down for a coffee, a cappuccino, and just take in the view. Honestly, I really think it's worth a try. If you've not been down in a while, now you're just a bus ride away if you're on the island or in Eagles Preserve. I'm readily accessible. It's just worthwhile. It's a real nice restaurant, and I think you'd enjoy it. It's super clean. There's always someone you'll run into where you can visit, and you'll enjoy it. I promise.
Coming up this Tuesday, Gerald Langberg presents an Academy program on Patagonia. Here's a preview.
Hello, everyone. I'm Terry Kolath, and I am here today talking about our first Coffee with a Neighbor in the summer session of the Academy of Lifelong Learning. I'm with Dr. Gerald Langberg of Sundial, and we're talking about Patagonia. Thanks for joining me, Jerry.
My pleasure, as usual.
Well, we had to put this off while you recovered from some surgery, and we want to tell everybody, yes, it's real. We're really having Patagonia
Honestly,
this time.
I'm here.
It's going to be great.
This is not a mirage.
I want to read what you just said on the cuff when you were telling me what Patagonia is like. Patagonia is a huge geographic area starting at the Rio Colorado and stretching south to Cape Horn. It is absolute boredom, with lots of wind and blowing dust interspersed with majesty, beauty, geography, and at least 4 groups of indigenous people whose names I dare not try to pronounce. It has deserts, glaciers, mountains, and birds galore, right whales, Magellanic penguins, rhea, a relative of the ostrich, guanaco, relative of the llama. Sounds fabulous. Elaborate a little bit. What are we going to see?
Well, you know, what's probably most interesting about Patagonia is people probably remember Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I think if you can conjure up in your mind Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, maybe you can get some of the grandeur of Patagonia.
That horse leaping off. Yes, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but it is, I'll start with the most boring, desolate, horrible place, because I'm sort of mouthing the words that Charles Darwin used in his descriptions of Patagonia. It is a vast land. It's larger than most countries. It has no flora. It doesn't grow trees because the wind's too strong. It's too dry to grow anything. The major grass they have looks like some kind of moss growing on the ground most of the time, or a little piece of brush somewhere. And that's the majority of Patagonia. And you get there and go, why would people want to live here?
Then why do we all know about it? What's so important about it?
Well, the geography really belies what's there. Right? When you see the majesty of the mountains, when you finally get to them, when you finally get to the Chilean fjords with the Fitzroy Massif, which you'll see in some of the pictures I'll show, these are places that are not rivaled anywhere else in the world. They are Patagonia. They're the quintessence of what Patagonia is. For instance, we went to Darwin's Ridge. We're say 600-700 miles, maybe even 800 miles south of Buenos Aires. And you have an overlook from Darwin's Ridge with this river that is just white, like calcium. It's just solidified. It just goes for miles. And Darwin stood on that ridge, hence the name Darwin's Ridge. And you sit there and you look at the fossils. There was huge dinosaurs there. That's another thing that Patagonia is famous for. The other area that we went to, which is on the coast, if anyone ever looks at a map, you'll see it looks like a big blacksmith's hammer coming out of the eastern coast of Patagonia about halfway down. And it's where the right whales mate in the fall. And it's one of the reasons I was so excited about going in October. When they came up next to the boat, and remember, we're in 40-foot Zodiacs, custom-built Zodiacs, and go out into the bay, and all of a sudden, this submarine comes up next to you. It looks like a submarine, and it has a big melon on top of its head, which is all barnacles, and it's huge. I mean, it's unbelievable. And when they blew, I'm not kidding you, I still had to throw away the clothes I had when that whale spouted, because all that stuff came on me.
You were that close.
I mean, I could reach out and just pet this huge 55, 60-foot whale.
And they are not afraid. Well, you're an explorer. This is very clear. You go off on these explorations. You go with National Geographic. You go in their ship.
Their ship is the National Geographic Explorer.
Explorer, you're on that. Now, you happened to meet a fellow explorer this time who was pretty interesting. We've just all acknowledged the anniversary of the Apollo 13.
You know, National Geographic likes to put someone of really great significance on each of their journeys. And this time, lucky for me, it was Jim Lovell of the most successful failed mission ever in space exploration. And I had the good fortune of traveling with him and having dinner with him and his daughter on several occasions with one-to-one conversations, one-on-one conversations.
How fortunate we are that you love to travel, that you go to these fabulous places, and that you come back and share it with us. And this one's going to have a little bit of bonus, hearing a little bit about Jim Lovell.
Absolutely.
In addition to Patagonia.
Couldn't leave it out.
Well, we hope you'll stop by, get some coffee, bring your ticket, have a little treat, and listen to Dr. Jerry Langberg, your neighbor, talk about his time in Patagonia.
We had an incredible Shell Point variety show last week with the theme of the blues. Here are the Shell Point line dancers performing Blues on the Bayou.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Shell Point line dancers.
Mississippi, there come. The French Quarter smells so sweet. My Shadow done with holidays in the bayou. Who could ask for more? When the saints come marching in, we'll be jumping for joy. Gonna head down south and have some fun, and nothing gonna keep me from holidays in the bayou. C'est bon temps roulé. We got the jazz and blues playing Christmas tunes from Lafayette to Baton Rouge. And old Saint Nick is up to all his tricks. You know he's heading for that Cajun food. We gather round and sing, it's a southern thing, and Lord, we love to play. It's a Louisiana, Louisiana, it's a Louisiana way with holidays in the bayou. What a season of joy. We're gonna have a Cajun potato for all the girls and boys. We're gonna head down south and have some fun, and nothing gonna keep me from holidays in the bayou. Well, if the good times roll, hey y'all, come on in. Holidays in the bayou, oh, what a season of joy. We're gonna have a Cajun potato for all the girls and boys. We're gonna head down south and have some fun, and nothing gonna keep me from holidays in the bayou. C'est bon temps roulé. Holidays in the bayou. When the saints come marching in, holidays in the bayou, holidays in the bayou. Well, let the good times roll.
At the Shell Point Variety Show, we heard this audition from trumpeter and new Shell Point resident Kaz Obi.
Hey, that sign there looks pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. I think that ought to attract some attention. I think.
Yeah, I think they got
there.
your likeness pretty much down.
Yeah.
You got the hat there and the glasses.
Yeah.
Hey man, this where you got the Blues Brothers
Nah.
auditions?
We're just watching this sign for some other guy.
Yeah, this is where the Blues Brothers auditions are. What's your name?
My name is Mo Blues. Mo Blues.
Mo Blues.
That's right, Mo Blues. Mo Blues.
And
yeah.
what do you pretend to do for us tonight?
Well, what I pretend to do,
What do you pretend to do tonight?
I pretend to do the national anthem. The national anthem.
Oh.
Yeah, my national anthem is Sweet Home Chicago.
Oh, Sweet Home Chicago. Hey, I hear some Chicago people out there. How many people here have a connection to the Chicagoland area? Let me hear you.
Yeah. How about on the count of three, everybody yell out your neighborhood in Chicago. 1, 2, 3. Downers Grove.
Hey, I've been to North Vegas too.
Well,
yeah, you're from Downers
I'm
Grove.
from Downers Grove.
Where are you from, Mo?
I'm from Glenview. Glenview. Yeah.
Well,
whoa, there's lots
there you
of
go.
Chicago
Well, let's see
people
what
here.
Mo has for us here.
Oh, let me get my axe here.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll ask you all to remain seated for the national anthem of Chicago. Sweet Home, Chicago.
All right, are you ready? Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The husband and wife duo of Bruce and Cecile Gallant are both Shell Point employees, and both performed at last week's Shell Point Variety Show.
Well, I see the train a-comin', rolling round the bend. Ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. But I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. And that train keeps moving all under San Antonio. When I was just a baby, Mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't you ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. And I hear that lonesome whistle, I hang my head and cry. Woo! Now I bet there's rich folks eating a fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee, Lord, they're smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. Yeah, I know I can't be free. Oh, but that train keeps moving, and that's what tortures me. Swear. Now if they freed me from this prison, a railway train was mine, I'd probably move it on a little farther down that line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I long to stay. You know I'd let that lonesome whistle blow all my blues away. You know I'd let that lonesome whistle blow all my blues away.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Bruce
very
and
much.
Cecile Gallant, Shell Point employees. Very well done.
The Jazz and Stuff Band welcomed guest saxophonist Gerald Augustin for their rendition of Tin Roof Blues. We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in next week for more stories and news from around your community. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I'm Jared Pike, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.